Southampton 1, Arsenal 0. First half goal by Brednarek. Breaks our necks. That's 3 losses in 3, 0 points, 6 goals conceded at a time we're apparently fighting for top 4. This is the Arsenal Lounge. Full-time reaction. Let's do it.
Thomas, it's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
So wait, you tell me to do this whole new intro, yeah? Come on, Lev. Let's do something different. Do a fancy beginning, and
I'm struggling because I'm not on my laptop.
You
my
dropped
phone.
the wrong intro. You killed me, man.
Listen, man. I'm on my phone. It's a struggle here, so I'm just gonna try to keep it simple.
It's the hope that kills you. A lot like our team. How you doing, bro? You watched the game. How you doing,
I'm
loungers?
alright, but I'm not even angry. Like I'm not surprised. I'm not angry. Nothing. I'm just. I'm not sure. I can't even speak. It was something like I was expecting it. But
well, if you was expecting it, why did you predict?
I just can't think. You know what I can't get. You know, Lev. You know what I'm struggling to understand here.
Go on.
I'm struggling to understand is how what has changed. These were the last 3 games that I expected us to win.
Yeah.
Right. I don't expect us to go to Stamford Bridge and win. I don't expect us to go to Tottenham and win, right? But these 3 games, I expected us to win.
Shaheen, what type of Arsenal team, one that we're used to seeing most of our lives, all of us as fans, let's be honest, would you ever have betted on an Arsenal side losing all 3 matches? That's Palace, Brighton, Southampton. This is meant to be our easy run-in.
These are not even average. These are teams that are struggling in a way, except Palace. Last week, Chelsea put 6 past Southampton. 6.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, we're not Chelsea, but we couldn't even manage 1.
We conceded 6 against these 3 teams. 6 goals in 3 games.
In the space of 3 games, top 4 is gone. Goal difference is gone. And you just see Tottenham lose, and you go and do that.
No, listen. I can't wait. We're just waiting for the warm up in the chats and people to come along, see who's coming in. We just thought we'd do a full-time reaction today. A lot of people have been asking why we haven't been doing it.
Let's talk about this, me and you, a little bit, and then once.
Yeah, of course, man. All right. Okay. All right. So
I go back to what I said earlier. That part of this falls on manager's doorstep. That you need to get your team up for a game. You just saw Tottenham lose.
This is like watching the old Arsenal from, the one we've been told we're trying to get away from, trust the process, right? This is where my problem lies. We've trusted the process. We've been quite fair with our assessments. We're not reactionary. We're balanced with our criticism. And we could all see that we needed to strengthen in depth, right? So look, we trusted the process, and with the first 11 that we have, it's a decent side. But look what happens. Okay, granted, it's bad timing. We've lost Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, and Partey. That's it, right? Tomiyasu, we don't know when he's coming back. The other 2 are gone for the rest of the season. Okay, and look at the backup we have. We have nothing in depth good enough to take us to top 4. We turned down players we had a chance to buy when we had the chance to get them in January. We showed a real lack of ambition. It's coming back to haunt us. I am now sick of it because this is a cowardly thing we did in January, in my opinion, right? I looked at it and I thought, let's see what happens. And lo and behold, exactly what we thought was going to happen has happened. And let me tell you this before I go on. I know I'm having a bit of a rant now, bruv, because I'm a bit annoyed. But I looked at Southampton's bench and they got, and not just the bench, their front line. They got Brozier, Che Adams, and Shay Long. Any of those 3 would take Eddie Nketiah's place in that Arsenal side. And we're supposed to be looking to challenge the top 4, even top 6. with Eddie Nketiah. How many teams around us have better forwards than Eddie Nketiah? The list is endless, and we're meant to be serious. I just can't get over what we've done to ourselves. And that game you saw there, we put Xhaka in midfield. It's the only thing we could do. But even he was getting outworked by the likes of Ward-Prowse and those guys. And it was toothless. And when we did have chances, and we did have them, Saka, Mr. Sitter, instead of putting the ball low or into the corner, he's hit it back into the middle. He gave Forster a chance to save it. He saved it. I think maybe Smithrowe could have done a little bit better with his chance. Had he connected properly, he would have scored. And Odegaard creates himself a great chance and misses the target. There were chances.
What, is that towards the end?
Yeah, there were chances,
Yeah, that
but
was poor,
not good enough.
Can I just say something? We're going to put the link in the comments in a bit, in 1 or 2 minutes. So you can come and join me and Lev and discuss the game with us. I know True Gunners TV wants to come on, and I see Maximus and other people in the chat as well. So we're going to put the link in a minute, and you guys can join us live. But it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing, man. That we're in a great position, and then you're coming up against mid-table team, Palace, Brighton, at home Brighton, and then Southampton away, who was struggling, and you lose. Not even a draw, lose, and everything is gone. Boom, 3 games is finished. A few days time, I'm not sure who thinks we're going to turn up to Stamford Bridge and get even a point. Not what we've got to threaten them with. Nothing. We're toothless. What's the point going forward? And I don't understand one thing today, Lev. We spoke about this privately as well. Yeah, I don't know what is this thing coming out that Odegaard is going to be the club captain and he's wearing an armband. I don't want to see my club captain being barged off the ball like he's nothing, and then not really influencing the game, not really doing much. He's part of the department that needs to be creating, and they're not really doing anything. Pepe comes on, plays him up front. That would be saying not a lot. It's just poor, man. It's just. Listen, you know what, Lev? Hold on. I'll just finish off. We don't deserve to finish in top 4. That's the best way I can put it.
Players like Odegaard only do well when they have players like Partey doing all of the donkey work for them. But listen, forget that. This is where I'm at with all of this right now. We've been asked to trust the process. We've done that, right? We've looked at what they've done, and some of it we've accepted there's been some good points and some development and some progress. And I think you did a poll last week, and a lot of people turned around and said they felt there was progress. Okay, fair enough. However, what is the point in seeing elements of progress when in the background of it all, fundamentally at the core, it's still the same old Arsenal doing the same old things? Because this is exactly what we've been doing over the years. We always try our best to find a cheaper way of getting through things. If there's ever a chance of Arsenal doing something on the cheap, they're going to try and do it. We're all been harping on over the years. We've been told we're class act and stand the other. And yes, the old Arsenal from the 20s, 30s, 40s, yes, we built up this legendary status of being classy. And a lot of that is because we were quite wealthy in comparison to others. But this is not classy. This top 4 was there for the taking. Teams are losing left, right, and centre. You thought Spurs was on a run and they were going to just ramp home, and they go lose to Brighton today. So what do we do as our response? We go out to Southampton and we get beat. And why? Because in January, all we had to do is say, just in case, guys, just in case if Thomas gets injured. And we were warned a couple of times. He's had a few injuries. Why? Why risk it? And then on top of that, let Ainsley Maitland-Niles go out, who could have played fullback or midfield. Not the best, but still better than what we had. And you've weakened us, and this is what's happened. This is all based on what happened in January, and I'm sick of people saying, oh, if we knew in hindsight, well, maybe Arsenal need to get better at foresight, because we could all see it and they couldn't. Sorry, bro, I was ranting, man. I'm pissed. Man.
Right, do you want to put the link in the comments so people can come and have their say? But it's just what are you supposed to say? How are you supposed to support the team unconditionally when you've seen things like that? I don't get that. How as a fan, I'm just going to support the club, right? No matter what. But I'm not going to support this team, the manager, and some of these players when I'm seeing things like what I'm seeing. Sorry, I can't. What am I supposed to support? Mikel? Trust the process. What process? What, losing 3 games on a row? When the pressure is turned on a little bit, everybody falls apart.
This is the ultimate bottle job. When we needed to really go through it,
Yeah,
we have bottled the whole
process
thing.
this, process that. Well, you not think next season Man United is not going to be better, Tottenham is not going to be better, and what you think Arteta is going to get another chance to compete in the top 4?
This
with
was
the
a
way
great chance.
Oh mate, just put the link on, man. Let's get some of the people on.
I'm gonna drop the link in. If you want to come and have your say, come and have your say. Listen, we're gonna try and keep it moving. Yeah, we don't want to we can't give certain mans in here 10-15 minutes or and only give a few minutes to others. So I'm dropping it in now. Shaheen, I think you're gonna try and manage this for us. Yeah. So here we go. Dropping a piece of meat into a piranha's tank, and boom, it's there. So whoever's gonna come and have your say.
Come on, join me and let's have a debate, man. Is this Arteta's fault? Is it the players' fault? Are we being reactionary?
There's a couple of familiar names already. Brandon's here, Seb's here.
Yeah, so all of this is happening. Is this whose fault is this? Whose doorstep this needs to be on? So let's just bring a couple of people on. Brandon is gone. I don't know where he's gone, but let's bring Sam. Hi, mate. And let's bring Seb on.
Seb and Zam. There we go.
Yeah, let's bring Maximus as well.
Boy, hey, he's a bit. Can't we warm up before we drop Maximus in?
Let's have this. Let's talk about this, guys, right? Because everybody, when we do shows with Mo and Tom, everybody tells me you're reactionary, you're overreacting, you're this, you're that, you got an agenda against the manager, you're negative, this and that. So you three are, you're not in a YouTube and podcast wars and that. You're normal fans, right? So tell me if I'm negative, I'm reactionary, and I'm overreacting on this.
I'm a normal fan, by the way.
Ozan, we'll start with you because you're the first one
on. Regarding how Arteta is performing and you coming across as negative, you're not overreacting at all. We're shambolic. And I think every season is papering over the cracks. I'm surprised so many of us are optimistic because you can feel the capitulation always on the horizon with Arsenal. No matter how much of a good run we have, we end up fucking it up, and we've done it again this season. So I'm not surprised where we are as a club, and I want Arteta out. I mean, he's the luckiest man in football. How can this novice, this guy with no fucking experience whatsoever, be handling one of the biggest clubs in football? He's got the reins to our club, and he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, we got rid of Guendouzi. This guy's a superstar in the making, and he got rid of him because he couldn't handle him. We've got Saliba out on loan somewhere, I believe. I have no idea what he's doing.
Saliba's at Marseille, and he's doing exceptionally well, by the way. And he's also made the French international team.
Exactly.
And so why are we having the same conversations we had 6 months ago? This is exactly what I said 6 months ago, and I'm actually happy to be here. I'm happy to be here to say that I told everyone, I told you so. And you know what's happened now? Exactly what I forecasted. And you didn't have to be clairvoyant to see that all these teams around us, they're going to improve on their managers. The top managers that were out there when we were in a slump 6 months ago, instead of sacking him and doing the right thing and getting one of these top managers in like Ten Hag, who's not going to go to United, they're going to be resurgent. We're going to be supposedly competing with them next season. We're not going to be competing with them. This is the problem that Arsenal have, and it's the fan base. And I've said it, and I'm sorry, I'll take it on the chest. The fan base, we're the fucking problem with this club. We're the problem. Chelsea fans will never tolerate this garbage. Never. Top teams don't tolerate this garbage. Chelsea wanted Tuchel out when they lost 2 games and they're in 3rd place cruising. This is the problem that we have. We have a bunch of fans that are a bunch of fucking losers, and we accept mediocrity. That is the problem. And I'm happy to be here to say, you know what? I fucking told you so. Because the problem with platforms like this, and Lev, I'm not having a go at you and Shaheen here, is that you guys bring buffoons.
I'll block you straight away.
You guys bring buffoons like Tom on here, and that other idiot Harry, who come on here and they're this weird proponent of the manager. For some reason, I can't.
Yeah, but hold on. Just because someone's got an opinion, though, we don't have to call them idiots, though.
No, they're blithering idiots because they have an agenda, and nobody. The problem is nobody actually attacks them, or nobody even has a conversation around it. These guys just keep dithering back and forth in terms of, oh, I see what Mikel's doing. We just need to wait another 5 years, give another 4 years, and this will happen. Like Saka is going to sit around for 4 years and say, oh, you know what? Klopp wants me at his club.
Hold on.
I'm just going to sit around here and just be okay with that.
Hold on. I want to get Maximus. Let's get everybody involved in the conversation. I'm really glad we've got one of Arteta's biggest fans here, Brandon from the Gunners TV. How are you, man? You good? Your boy, what's happening, man? Why is Arteta ruining our club?
I've been telling you guys for years.
I'm telling you guys are out today, innit? I'm telling you.
I've been saying, haven't I? Let's be honest. It was done last week. I don't know why everybody's so mad. It was done last week when he chose to play Granit Xhaka at left back, when he chose to leave us with Sambi Lokonga on his own in midfield, you know. And it is his fault. Don't anybody get it twisted. It is his fault, because at the end of the day, right, he expected Sambi Lokonga to come in and put in an excellent performance when the kid hasn't played for months on end. He doesn't use him. He doesn't use any of the squad apart from the 11 players that he picks week in, week out. So I knew as soon as we got these injuries, this is exactly what was going to happen. But the fact that, you know, we had 3 games, Crystal Palace, Brighton, and of course Southampton today, they're the 3 games that you expect to pick up a minimum of 7 points going into the next 3 games against Chelsea, Manchester United and West Ham, which are all going to be difficult. And we've picked up 0, absolutely 0. And for all those that sit there and say we've improved, we ain't improved. We're 2 goals away from conceding the same amount of goals as last season. We're 2 losses away from losing the same amount of games that we lost last season. So tell me where the improvement is, because all I'm seeing is, teams around us like Manchester United and Tottenham and even Leicester, you know, teams that we didn't expect to do as badly as they have done this season, have been absolutely shocking. And they've been worse than us, and that's the only reason we're in the position where we are anyway.
Hold on, Brandon, let me ask a question, though, bro.
Shocking, mate.
Let me ask a question. I agree with you. We have been shocking, and we've also, if you go back on any of our shows, January window and all that, we said we were shocked we haven't strengthened, and if there's anywhere it's going to flop, it's because we haven't strengthened, right? Okay, that's come to light, and with our history, we should have even been overly overcautious with it. We know with our Arsenal team, when there's a time to get a bad injury, it happens to us. It's historically happened, right? But what I want to ask you is this: you say we haven't improved. I kind of beg to differ in the instance of, if we had a first 11, I think we wouldn't have lost all 3 of these games. If we hadn't lost Partey, Kieran Tierney, Tomiyasu out, we wouldn't have lost all 3 of these games. However, the fault has to come down to the guys.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, Lev.
What did you guys see? Did you see the thing, though, Lev?
This is what I mean about the manager, right? Yeah, you can't always have your first 11 available every single week. This is where it comes down to the manager now. This is where you prove whether you're a good manager or not. You have to do something tactically or in terms of personnel to get the best out of the players that you have, and he has not done that. He's not done that.
Ostracized every single player that's not in his first 11. That's
the easiest way to explain it is, I don't care
every single player.
I don't care if you're Mikel Arteta or Pep Guardiola. If you've had 3 seasons nearly at Arsenal Football Club, spent £250 million, and you cannot even make it in the top 4, you're done out here, mate. You got to go. Simple as.
So I'm gonna ask you something, Brandon. I'm gonna ask everybody this, and whoever comes on after these guys. Would you get rid of him end of the season? I said, for you, I know it's going to be a silly question. I know the answer, but Brandon would have got rid of him 100%. When they signed.
100%. I look at it this way, right? Yeah, we smashed down a stadium in order to compete with the for the elite trophies with the elite teams in the world, right? 18 years ago, we made that decision. 16 years ago, we smashed that stadium down, right? Why are we still sitting here being patient, hoping and praying that, Mikel Arteta, he's sat with Pep Guardiola?
Let's hope the apology of the fans. You're saying it's the fans are the problem.
Yeah, go
out and get me a winner. Go and get me a Diego Simeone. Yeah, his football's not great, but he wins. Who cares?
Brandon, hold on. I just want to involve everybody in the conversation, right? But
There's quite a few. There's about, I think, 70, 80 people watching, and I know it's gonna be more people. I'm looking for people who are gonna disagree with me and probably everybody here, and are trying to defend the manager and defend this process. If there is somebody in a chat, or if somebody that wants to do this, they will have an express way to the front of the queue.
I reckon who loves Arteta, man.
No, I don't. It doesn't look like Arteta guy. Let me just go to Seb before I go to Hus. Hold on, right, Seb. Right. What's your thoughts, man? What's happening? You good?
This is just awful. Absolutely awful. This is the worst time to be going on this bad run. The team just took completely out of ideas, and even with injuries, you can't capitulate like this. You just can't. Because you're playing teams that are literally on the floor. Brighton, look at their run before we play them. Southampton, look at their run before we play them. Palace, yeah, they're a decent side, but you can't be getting smashed like this. And yeah, you're right. It definitely comes down to January and the lack of depth within the squad, the lack of firepower up front. You can't finish our dinner. And lots of people will say, oh, their keeper had an outstanding save. He made one really good save. The rest were just all bread and butter saves because their finishing was so poor. And they made this mistake in January. We should never have sold Aubameyang without replacing him. I think it was time for him to go, but not replacing him was absolutely criminal. And look,
would he made a difference today anyway? Like, this is the problem that we have as Arsenal fans, is that everybody thinks it's like, you know, like, let's just put this person, this piece, move this chess player in here, move this chess player out there. That's not the common denominator. The common denominator is the manager. We're not creating clear-cut chances. We're absolutely boring to look at. I almost fell asleep looking at the first half. We're absolutely shocking. This is the problem that Arsenal fans have. We keep dithering, going back and forth. He is the problem. Top teams, top businesses, when their elites are not performing, the people at the top of the helm, they axe them, they get rid of them. That's what top companies do. They don't sit around and wait and like, oh, let's have this little process. Let's wait. And you know the problem is, let me tell you what it is. They know, Stan Kroenke and his superiors, they know that Arsenal fans are the most gullible idiots in terms of football. Because we sit around, they know that. They know we're going to pay the highest season ticket prices. We're going to jump on podcasts. We're going to scream and shout. It's known. It's well known. That's what we do in the transfer market. We're the most gullible idiots. They've been playing us for decades. They dangle these top players like, oh, we're probably going to get Benzema. And at the end of the window,
do they use that voice?
Like, oh no, sorry, we're not getting Benzema, because they know what we are, reactionary fans. We don't have any foresight. Any idiot could have seen this happening.
Let's find out what Hus has to say about this. Hus is
Arteta in guy, isn't he?
He's been waiting patiently. He's got his nice family pics in the background. He's got the camera looking sharp. Are you
the guy who's going to make sense of everything that's happening with Arteta?
I can explain as much as I can explain. And look, I'm just a fan like you guys, right? So it's pretty simple. At the beginning of the season, me and Lev had a conversation, and Lev said to me, with the squad we've got, the players we've got, where do you think we're going to finish? And I said, we're not going to finish higher than 5th or 6th, right? Now, I do apologize. I got COVID as well, so if I start coughing, I do apologize.
Can everyone just stay like 2 meters
two
away
steps back?
from him.
You might want to catch the COVID as well.
2 centimeters off the screen. Yeah,
there you go. But basically, the thing that jumps out at me, and this is where, you know what, I make Maximus, is it? I make you right, because there's a level of accountability that we hold as fans. Now, I'm a season ticket holder as well, so I go to all the home games, right? I only missed one this year because I was sick, right? But we, as a fan base, are seen as toxic, because when we come out and say something, or any Arsenal fan comes out and says something, oh, they're just whining, they're this, they're that, blah, blah, blah. It's not the case. Now, we have waited very, very patiently for a long time for things to materialize. 2 cardinal sins this season that are really going to cost us our chance to get back into the Champions League. And the knock-on effect of this is going to be huge, which I'll explain in a second. Number 1, in January, if you are going to let your talisman goal scorer leave and you do not bring in a replacement, you're stupid. Okay, that's number 1, right? Number 2, okay? If you look at any team over the past decade that has been successful in the Premier League era and has got a consistency in Champions League football, has got a consistency in winning a title, anything, right? They all have one thing in common. They have a good balance of youth and of maturity. The maturity within Arsenal's football club right now is piss poor, because our elder players and the ones who are supposed to be setting the example, the ones who are supposed to be leading by example, the ones who are supposed to be carrying us, the likes of Granit Xhaka, whoever, that guy's good for one worldie a season. That's what I know of Granit Xhaka. Since we've signed him, he hits one worldie a season, gets 4 red cards, and probably costs us about 12 points. Lacazette has been a great servant to the club, however, has never been a prolific goal scorer, right? You can go through the entire team. The thing that upset me the most about today, and against Brighton, it was just the same. Not so much against Palace, to be honest. Palace just straight up buoyed us off the park, yeah? But the thing that really upset me about the last 2 games, we are now playing Wenger ball, which is we have plan A, which is to walk the ball across the line, and we have plan B, which is to go back to plan
Do you know
A.
what? I disagree with that, host.
I don't
and
think
I'll tell you what.
Point.
No, hold on, Maximus. You know why? No, I don't disagree with the general point he's making. What I've been noticing of Arsenal of late, and that's a run of maybe 8 or 9 games together, the plan A seems to be a cross in a box. For who? I don't know.
Exactly.
How many times did we cross it in a box today? For who?
That's a good point, but
Odegaard, Saka.
Just one last point.
None of them are headers of the ball. Why do we keep crossing it to the ball?
Do you know, just one last point though, yeah? And I think this is probably the biggest mistake. Huh? This is probably the biggest mistake. This is probably the biggest mistake of Arteta's managerial with us, right? In January, when you lost Aubameyang, we recouped £27 million in wages, right? We were offered £25 million for Eddie Nketiah, or to the best of my knowledge, that's what I read, from Newcastle. Yeah. That therefore means that we had approximately £52 million available. If you are telling me, genuinely, with £52 million worth of resource available, you couldn't go and get a striker, or you couldn't convince Kroenke to top it up to get you your Isaac or whoever you were looking at, because you must have been looking at someone, right? And you know what? Maximus is right. If you can't, after 3 seasons, get us into that spot, then you're not the right man for the job.
Out of those 3 seasons, he's finished 8th twice. And also on the point of the transfer window was, I don't think they were in for anybody. I thought all this, what's that guy's name? The one that went to Juventus? No.
Oh, we picked the player.
Vlahovic, yeah.
That
Vlahovic, I think it was just smokescreen. I don't think they were ever in for him. It was just like, we're in, and they kept the mouth of everyone's shut. No one was moaning, and at the end, everyone said, they tried. Bless
how
them.
Many teams? Hold on, guys. How many teams around us have better strikers than us?
Everyone.
Every top 6 striker.
Right.
Every
all
top
3 of the strikers that started for Southampton today, you would take any of those 3 over the Eddie Nketiah, and probably over Lacazette as well. Broja, Che Adams, and Shane Long.
Of course.
Right? How are we meant to be Arsenal and we have a strike force like that?
Because the manager, I'll explain it to you. The manager wants these players that he can manipulate and control. He can't handle big egos, which is why Aubameyang has left. He can't handle Pepe. He's left. Guendouzi's left. Saliba's left. Look at the trend. All of these players have attitudes. The one thing you have to learn about top players is that top players come with an attitude. Thierry Henry, Van Persie, these guys all had big egos. You have to learn to manage that as a manager.
Clearly,
he's a novice. He doesn't have the experience, so he can't control these players. If you look at Saka looks like a yes man. He's just I'll do what the manager says. Emil Smithrowe, another yes man. He looks like that. I'm not saying these players are not talented, but he can control these guys. He doesn't want the players who he cannot control. Top players have egos. They think they're the best. That's why they play at such an elite level. He cannot manage these egos. And I'm sorry, like we keep having the same conversations.
Another place he falters. Wait. Another place he falters as well, Shaheen and you guys, in my opinion, is he's stuck in this one way of playing. Now, clearly, this Lacazette thing hasn't been working, right? So the only other options you have and the type of players you have are not the type to sit with their back to goal, centre back up their asses, playing like that. The only other options we have are guys that run in behind. We had Aubameyang, who was a striker that could run in behind. Didn't get the best out of him. Suddenly, man stopped scoring when he was scoring for fun seasons before. Okay, we said it's his attitude. He's out the door. He's gone. The next option you have, anyone similar to that, is Martinelli.
Yeah.
Again, to play Martinelli, you got to play the same way. You've got someone like Odegaard who could pick a pass. Play Martinelli, give him a go. Again, doesn't do that, right? He's the central midfield situation. Just man.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with Maximus in a point that he raises. That I think Mikel Arteta's best way of dealing with somebody who seems to be a little bit difficult is let's get rid of him. Is interrupting that. No, when you're saying he's interrupting the dressing room, you're basically saying, I don't know how to handle this guy. I can't handle this guy. I can't get the best out of him. Let's move him on. Let's make him look bad and let's move him on. That's one. Two, I'm going to put it to all of you. Would I be right in saying the best football Mikel Arteta played was in the first season when he went to a back three and won the FA Cup?
I disagree, but I think people are going to see that simply because we won the FA Cup. And I didn't think we won the FA Cup because of Mikel Arteta, to be quite frank. But like I said, I'm just going to leave it here. I think my point is, I think as Arsenal fans, we're discussing the wrong thing, right? We're discussing all of these insignificant, diminutive points because we can say, what if Aubameyang, all these weird hypotheticals. That's not what management encompasses. I think the point is, we all know this guy's inexperienced. We should have had this discussion like months ago to say, like, this guy is just not good enough. Like, let's just cut our losses, get rid of him. This is what big clubs do. We need to be, we have a chance of getting into the top four. Let's get a top manager in. I also said the one thing that we need to be very, very cognizant of is that there are not a lot of top managers out there, right? At the time, Tuchel was available. Ten Hag was available. Guess what? Guess where they are? Conte was available. Guess where they are? At all the clubs that are around us competing with us now. So when we get rid of him, who are we getting in? See, that's the problem. And I always said, you have to think strategically. You just can't think with your emotions. People who think with their emotions usually fail because you have to look at the facts and you have to be very clairvoyant enough to say, you know what? This guy's definitely not going to get us there. And even if he does get us to the top four, we're playing one game a week and we can barely beat teams around us. What happens if we're playing European football with these players?
But listen, this is the mentality that's cost us as well, Maximus, because look, we try to stay balanced with our opinions. We always said the jury was out with him. Where he started to lose me was that January window in particular, because you got to look at it and say, look, we were in a good position. Whichever way you want to look at it, we were in a good position. Whether or not we agree that he's the right man long term, our job should have been to grab that opportunity when we had it. Instead, what my club showed me was a cowardly attempt to cheap it. And we got rid of our talisman.
I don't think,
and we screwed ourselves.
I see your point, but I don't think that even if we got, like I said, I've made this point countless times. I don't believe if we had Thierry Henry, Bergkamp, Ian Wright in our team right now with Mikel Arteta being the manager, I am convinced we wouldn't finish in the top 7.
Well, you could say that, Maximus, but until our players got injured, we were there. And had we, say, potentially strengthened with someone like Bruno Guimaraes in January, in case Partey got injured, we would have had a far stronger midfield to start
there's
with.
Evidence
right?
to prove that this manager, regardless of where we were, there's evidence to prove that he's not good enough. Like
Maximus, you know what's interesting?
Eighth, and potentially 7th this season. We're in 7th place right now. Technically.
Listen, you know what's interesting, right? Is Burnley has got more fucking balls and ambition than us. Man has been there for 10 years.
Exactly.
Right? One bad season, you're off.
Because teams and managers, CEOs are starting to realize that you can't have an emotional connection to management anymore.
On. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I was speaking to Mo on Tuesday, I think it was, right? When Chelsea and Madrid was playing. And I was telling Mo, I said, listen, if Thomas Tuchel loses this game, his job is on the line. One game, his job is on the line. Right, and he's feeling that pressure, so he's going to make sure the players are going to be well up for this, right? And that's exactly what happened. Chelsea went there; they put in their performance
because their fans have a certain level of accountability.
Exactly. That's
they have
my
a
point.
winning mentality.
We don't have
as
that
fans.
at Arsenal Football Club.
Exactly.
You know, Mikel Arteta is making decisions on the transfer window in January. He doesn't feel any accountability or pressure. Because if he felt any pressure, he probably wouldn't have done any of those things.
Yeah, but you know why that is? I'll tell you why that is.
Wait, Maximus, before you say what you're going to say, bro, it's fine. Is it because you say it's our fault? Is it just because we've just lost it in the sense of We have screamed about it. We've complained about the backroom situation with the Cronkies. We've protested. It happens, then it doesn't happen. Is it just that they keep giving us this cloak and dagger, smoke and mirrors? Oh, we've got this reason. It's going to take a bit of time, and that reason, and we've just sick of it now.
No,
We're
it's
just
because
giving
we've
up.
half-assed everything. No pun intended. We've half-assed everything. The problem is there's always like, we're going to protest, and then you'll have a fraction of the fan base saying, oh, maybe not, because they're potentially going to buy this person. And like I said, I hate calling people up, but then you have individuals, and they're entitled to their opinions, mind you. But there's people, Harry Symeou, these guys are unwavering. They're not even subjective. It's just unwavering when it comes to the manager. And that for me personally, I think that's a red flag. Because if you're an Arsenal fan,
Tom's had a go about Arteta a few times, hasn't he, Shane?
Listen, let me explain something with psychology. That guys like that's what they tend to do. They give and take so that fans don't believe, or like, yeah, you know what, I'm actually up the manager's ass here. Like, Harry is unwavering when it comes to Mikel Arteta, regardless. He can lose a few matches, he can lose 5 matches on the bounce. This is a long-term process. We all need to be, we need to be patient. Come on, Lewis over at Chelsea, they lose 1 match, even if they win by 1 goal. These guys are up in arms. They're like, this is unacceptable. And they hold their club and the players to a certain level of accountability. We don't do that. It's because we have, I don't want to use that word, we have a bunch of snowflakes at the club, and they all believe in this process. Let's take photos together. The club is so gelled. Everything's fantastic. A bunch of fairies. And we have teams. Chelsea 20, 30 years ago, I mean, who talked about them? They had no global footprint. They are now a larger global brand than Arsenal. Because
they've got endless amounts of money. But I love the little voice.
We spent more money than them.
Hold on.
That's not even enough.
Kroenke has more money than Roman Abramovich, by the way, just so you know.
Say again?
Okay, so we should be spending way more, but we don't.
Okay, listen, guys. Basically, we know the situation. We know what it is. We lost 3 games. Does anybody here, just a quick yes or no, you disagree that we're out of top 4?
There's no chance.
We're out. Cool. So we're all on the same page,
top
right?
4, minute those 3 injuries.
So I want to start with Zam and Seb and move our way up, because these guys, they haven't had a chance to speak. What do we do now going forward? That's because we know the
first
situation,
of all, we have to
what it is.
Get the brainwashing out of some of our stupid fans. Maximus, I agree with so much of what you said, mate. I really do, because a lot of our fans, when you watch Aftv and you see people like Julian and Ty and several others, it's unbelievable how deluded these guys are. It freaks me out. Like, they don't do reality, and it really pisses me off. These people need to come out their shell a little bit. Stop, having this sort of pipe dream, this sort of movie style sort of mindset of how things are going to get better. We're going to punch above our weight and everything's going to be hunky-dory, because it isn't. And it's just too much of it. It's just unbearable. We are one of the biggest teams in the world. We need to start acting like that, demanding more as a fan base. If managers ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, we need to be getting rid of them and getting the right people in there. And as Maximus said earlier, there was a whole bunch of candidates and we blew it. Because that's what we do as a club. We blow it. And considering we've got someone like Stan Kroenke, but if you have an American owner, unfortunately, you're never going to achieve much, because most of them only give a damn about profits. Then we need to stop making them think like that, and by not buying merchandise, not buying anything from the food stands, anything like that. Boycotting the club as much as possible, and then maybe they'll pull their finger out. Or maybe, if we're really lucky, they'll fucking sell the club.
Hey, you can even argue, lads, that we cheaped the Arteta one as well. When we were looking for a manager, we cheaped that too. We could have gone for someone that was experienced, and it was going to cost us a little bit, but worthy of the name Arsenal. Yeah.
But to answer Shaheen's question before, obviously we all get cut out. For me personally, moving forward, we need, I would get rid of the manager right now. And people might think that that's an overreaction because of the game, and it has nothing to do with that. I've been saying this guy should have been cut a long time ago, since in December, even before that. I think we need to act. We should look at this position that we're in right now. We have no chance of getting into the top 4. We should start looking at bringing in a manager in right now. Start solidifying our plans for the summer, because if we devise a plan around this manager for next season, we're just going to be going in this cycle, because we're not getting anywhere. These teams around us are going to be stronger. We need to get rid of the manager now, get somebody in, and plan for next season around what that manager wants. If we go into next season, let me just make one more point. If we get into next season, because we know this is going to happen, I don't know who's on this panel is going to disagree. I guarantee you 5-10 games into next season with this manager, we're all going to be singing the same tune. Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Then we have to get a new manager. And then maybe if we get a new manager in, he's going to want his players. And you know what that's going to turn into? Another 14 years of nothing. Because it's always going to be, he needs more time. This manager needs more time. The time is now. The time is now. To get rid of him right now, bring somebody else in. Mancini may be available. He's not going to the bloody, he's not going to the World Cup. There's a plethora of managers out there. In my opinion, we should have gotten Ten Hag. I wanted him from the very beginning. And it just kills me to see him go to Man United. They're probably going to be playing fantastic football and winning matches. And we've blown the opportunity. So right now, anybody in at this point works. We have to start planning for the summer.
Just a quick question. Do you think that will happen?
Oh, I was going to ask. That was the question I was going to ask, man. I got cut off.
Sorry, man.
No.
Well, let's ask that question to Seb. Seb, do you think what Maximus said will happen, or do you agree that needs to happen?
Wait, could I one more before you answer that, Seb? I'll add another bit to it for all of you as well, including you, Seb. Is it going to happen like Shaheen's asked? And on top of that, right, at the end of the day, what does it take for him to be sacked in your eyes?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. For him to be sacked, I think he has to be out of Europe altogether. Then that's the only way I can see them acting. Otherwise, they're just not going to react. Because the reality is, there is no more excuses for this guy. Because he was backed in the summer. He had the opportunity in January to strengthen and he bottled it. We were in a promising position come April as well, and he's messed it up. There is no more excuses. And like you said, he's been here for 3 years now. And your third season is when you should really, if you're given that amount of time, is when you should really be kicking on. And you can't bottle a top 4 race like this. You just can't. So no, I'm sorry. And also, we had no European football.
Do you know what a lot of Arsenal fans are not noticing or taking note of?
Take advantage.
Our best player, Saka, I guarantee you next season, he's going to be looking at offers to other clubs. Arsenal fans, like Sam said, we have this whole Hollywood mentality that everything is going to be fantastic. Players like him, those top players are going to start looking at other clubs. He's going to be like, you know what? This isn't working here. I'm going to be 22, 23. Top clubs are going to be looking at me. Maybe Barcelona, they're going to have a little bit more money to spend. I can look at going there. I can look at going to Man City. I could probably go to Liverpool. He has options. And that's the problem. We're going to end up in the same cycle that we were with Fabregas and Van Persie when we had that team and all we needed to do was add a little bit of, just a sprinkle, a good defensive midfielder in there, just a few bits. And we failed to do that. And then these players moved on. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Just to remember that. You can bookmark this. This is exactly what's going to happen.
All right, let's see.
I also feel Saka is regressing. Sorry, I also feel Saka is regressing now at Arsenal. Like I almost feel like he's peaked at like last season, and we're not really seeing the best of him anymore. Maybe because he's a bit demoralized because how absolutely shit
what good
we are.
Attacking player is thriving under Mikel Arteta. Aubameyang had 4 goals.
Yeah.
Lacazette can't score. Who's the common denominator here? Come on.
Yeah, youngsters also, when they're in their early stages of their career, one thing they strive for is consistency. To put a lot of pressure on these young lads, and I see some people in the chat sometimes go, Saka wasn't great, or don't see what the hype is. But you need to understand, for me, these young lads have carried us when they shouldn't have needed to. Who's touched on it earlier on with regards to maturity in the team? We've got a lot of good youngsters, but we don't have adults and mature professionals next to them who are good at their job to help them or take the flack off them. Hus, you've heard what's been going on.
I'll answer the question. So I think personally, there's 0 chance they're going to sack him until the end of the season, right? So from my side of things, look, I think a decision needs to be made really quickly if he is the right man for the job or he's not. Look, Champions League is gone, so forget that. Ultimately, at the beginning of the season, I don't think any Arsenal fan, hand on heart, expected to go to the Champions League. Okay, so the true ambition of the club was to probably see if we could get back into Europa and challenge for top 4. Okay, so at one stage, you could argue we were slightly ahead of schedule, but then in true stupidity, we've gone and fucked it up. What I would like to see is, between now and the end of the season, if Arteta is the right guy for the job, right, he has to be able to show that he has versatility as a manager. Make changes to that team. So, for example, we are not scoring in open play freely, and we're Arsenal. We're known for scoring goals, right? So instead of sticking with the exact same or predictable lineups, play Martinelli down the spike, put Pepe out wide. You know, Saka looks like he needs a break. Smithrowe can't get a start and is our top goal scorer. It doesn't. Yeah. The whole process right now is really messed up because I feel that we're too predictable. And that's why the teams like Crystal Palace have been able to set up to buoy us off. Brighton pulled off a smash job on us. And this is a team who hadn't won a game since January, right? And look at the confidence that they've taken from us to then go and bash up Tottenham, right? And they won that game today. They completely nullified Tottenham. Yeah. But with what we've got left by way of, let me think about this. Next game, we've got Chelsea, followed by Man United, followed by, you'd say, two softer teams, yeah? Then you've got the run-in, basically. And I know that we've got Newcastle and Everton in there. These are teams that are all fighting for stuff. Yeah, these are teams that are fighting not to go down or to get into Europe. The only one, arguably, that right now is pretty much as they are is Chelsea. Yeah? But Chelsea ain't going to do us no favours. So from our side of things, I'm struggling to understand what comes next, because how you could be so far ahead in the process and looking seemingly like, hey, with the way the results have all played out now, if we'd have done well, say we got 5 points, yeah? We won one, lost one, in fact, 4 points, yeah? We won one, lost one, drew one, yeah, in the last 3 games. We'd be in the Champions League spots. Yeah. And you'd be sitting there scratching your head saying, well, you know, it hasn't been great, but you know what?
And given these 3 as well, Hus, these 3 games that we've just had, Palace, Brighton, Southampton,
they were the winnable ones.
Someone's hand off for that, wouldn't you?
They were the winnable ones. And this is what's got me about it. Is
they were the winnable ones.
We need to do what we did Wenger out. For the last 6 games, fans should just stay away from the stadium.
From you guys, where do you think we'll finish this season?
7th.
I don't really care, but we're not going to be 4th. But I just want to interject by saying that what process, by the way, if you don't mind me saying, Hus, because we're not in any competitions at all.
Yeah.
We weren't in Europe this season. There was no process. We were already out of all the cup competitions early on. We had it so easy.
Yeah.
And we still blew it, and we're blowing it right now. I mean, our players have rested beyond belief, and they still can't pull rabbits out.
But that's my problem, and this is the I think why, if at the end of the season we are not in that Champions League spot, the questions have to be asked and the decisions have to be made, because arguably, if you're not playing more than one, we are playing more than one game a week because of the way it's all kind of panned out, right? However, right, we're still having to play the same amount of games as the other teams in the Premier League, but they've just got more because they've got European football, cup football, blah, blah, blah. For me, the cardinal sins, and again, Maximus hit the nail on the head with player management. Matteo Guendouzi and William Saliba look like 2 very good players playing for Marseille. And that Marseille team do very well when they feature. Okay. However, the decision was made that it would be better to keep Rob Holding as cover. Okay. For Saliba, which doesn't make any sense to me because ball playing centre-backs are hard to come by. The second point, in January, we were genuinely or supposedly looking at a midfielder. Why do we need to do that? We just call Guendouzi back from loan. Oh, no, wait, he cussed you. If you're telling me you're not big enough to forgive someone or to say, listen, there's a bigger denominator here, that's a big problem for me.
All the top players are walking out the door because of this manager, and fans are allowing it to happen. This is the problem. We sold Guendouzi for 9 million quid. That's insane.
Wait,
French international.
Hold on. Guendouzi, to the best of my knowledge, Guendouzi is still on loan, correct?
No. He sold. The clause kicked in. They sold for £9 million.
Oh, that went through. Okay, I was under the impression that didn't go through. My bad. Okay, forget me.
Can I ask a question? In what world do you get rid of Torreira, Guendouzi, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and then go, you know what? That's the midfield depleted. And also, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll get rid of Aubameyang as well because he's our talisman striker. And if anyone can potentially get into form and get us some goals, it's him. And let's get rid of all of them and then not do anything back in return. That's where everything. We could talk about this all day long, right? And we could say, as manager, you know, we have opinions, Maximus. Sometimes I don't agree with you. A lot of times I do agree with you. And we could talk about this back and forth about Arteta, but the whole point still leads back to that January window. Don't care about process. I don't care about anything. But if you've got a chance to grab something, you grab it. Simple as that. And
is it him? Is it him or is it the Kroenkes?
Well, this is the other question.
I think this is 100% him.
Is it the Kroenkes?
It's 100% him.
No, but because he went out to America, right? And we all saw the pictures of him and Stan Kroenke sat in the executive box.
Yeah.
What is he doing in America at that time?
Signing a new contract, according to Shaheen. Shaheen said he felt it was to do with a new contract. I felt I was praying it was to try and get some transfers over the line.
What I said was he's there to sign a contract because if it was to do with the players or a securing fund, you got Edu Vinay.
Exactly.
If it's there to talk about developments for the club or anything, you've got again Vinay.
So the other theory is, Shaheen, sorry to interrupt before you carry on, bro. The other thing Shaheen added is he might have already signed the contract, but now that it's a bad timing with the results, they can't come out and say it. Sorry, Shaheen, carry on, bro.
Yeah. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already signed the contract, it's done. They're just waiting for the season to be over. So there's no fans in the stadium. There's nothing. They will announce it. Everybody will have a fit for about a week or so. And then, like always, we'll forget about it. We move on. And now we're the end of it.
Yeah, the issues with him. It's not look, the guy wants a certain type of player. And I think it's a type of personality more so than player and quality. Because there's no way you can tell me, and I know a lot of people disagree with this. I guarantee you put a player like Pepe in a team with a good manager, he'll produce. I mean, he was our best goal contributor last season. In fact, I saw an interesting stat. All the games that we just lost, he scored in last season and literally participated a total of like 15-20 minutes. It's just kind of odd. Anyway, it is a certain type of personality. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Torreira, all of these players who, mind you, just one player of the month in Serie A. We got rid of all of these players. Aubameyang, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan of Aubameyang in terms of his playing style, but the guy scores goals. You have him there as a backup. At least till the end of the season, and then
you rather him coming on with 20 minutes to go than
Eddie
Nketiah. Come on,
exactly. So that's my point. He wants a certain type of personality, and I think it's a controlling thing. I think he has this. The guy's a bloody egomaniac. You listen to his press conferences, and you can tell he is a bloody egomaniac. And he just wants total control, and he wants to be able to have these type of players that are not going to cause a ruckus in the locker room, players that are going to question his tactics and the things that he's doing. He doesn't want that. He wants the yes men, the people who are going to be like, you know what, Saka's just going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. Smithrowe, I'm just going to go with it. Martinelli, I'm just going to go with it. People like Pepe, these guys have attitudes, you can tell. They're
Maximus,
top players.
Hold on, bro. So, right, we've been hearing what everyone's saying. The reason I wanted to stop you there, Maximus, as well, is we know, obviously, Mo Iraqi is in the house. Mo's got money, but now Mo's got problems as well. You can see it because you, Mo, have been quite an avid sort of follower saying, look, we need time. They're young players. We have a good team. What do you make of this, Mo? Because right now you're not looking very happy.
Well, hold on, Mo. Hold on, Mo. Just before you answer, let me just read out the super chat from Snake Eye.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for your super chat, my friend. Kroenke does not want Champions League because if it will mean investment and pumping money into the club. Also, Arteta is out of his debt.
50 million into the club. I don't buy that, man.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Hi guys. Hi all. Hi Liv, Shaheen, guys. Hi.
Very good.
Cheer up, Mo.
Of course, all we are not happy because first of all, we are Arsenal fans. So when Arsenal lose and Arsenal didn't win, of course we are not happy. Of course we are angry, worrying what happens in the crucial time of the season now. For me, the big mistake from both the board and Arteta was in January, and I spoke about this before that. We were fighting for the top four. Okay, nobody expected us at the beginning of the season to be fighting for the top four, but it was at stake. So we get rid of some players in January. We should have brought at least 2 very good players to help us. Why? Because I spoke many months ago that our squad is light. So any injuries in a crucial time like what's happening now will affect us badly. And this is what we are paying the price for. Partey out, Tomiyasu out, Tierney out. Our squad is light. Look at our bench. Not today only. In the last matches, many young players. So I didn't get the idea that the board and Arteta spoke about that. We didn't find the players, the appropriate players for us, because they were planning for the summer, and as all saw that Arsenal didn't go for any average players, but for surely there are many very good players that were available in January.
So what would you do, Mo? Who would you blame? Firstly, because I know you've been a supporter of Arteta. Who would you blame, and would you sack him based on this? Like, you know, if he comes out of Europe and he ends up 6th or 7th, which is possible right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's possible.
I think,
right? What would you do? Would you still keep him, Mo? Because I know you've been his fan.
No, I'm an Arsenal fan, first of all. So
yeah.
When I estimate Arteta work and what he has done and what Arsenal have went in the last 2 years, very much change outside the pitch in the headquarters, decision making, and I said this before, and on the pitch moving 20 plus players out and changing the team. The whole team, the whole shape of the team, step by step, bearing in mind COVID world and difficulties. So now the main important thing for the players is to stick together, to be concentrated. We must fight to be in Europe at least. So now, after today's match, which is a match against Southampton, ordinary team, but organized defensively. Okay. Attacking-wise, we are suffering. We can't score goals.
What would you do
even with Lacazette playing,
But what would you do with Arteta, though? What would you do with Arteta if we don't finish in the top 6? What would you do with Arteta is the question mark.
Now, I think it's very problem if we didn't finish in the top 6. I hope we finish to go to Europe. And if we didn't finish, I think the board will have, a big subject to think about. Next summer, key summer for us, because I think we should put all our money on quality players in the attacking shape of our team.
Would you keep him, Mo? You've had media training, Mo, because you're not answering the question. You're giving me that political answer, innit? Like you're not giving me the answer. Would you keep him or would you sack him? Personally yourself, Mo?
I think if he finish outside the top 6, it's a good chance that he will gun. But realistically, if you think, what's the board thinking? Not me or you or
I understand.
The board will keep him.
No. Before you guys laugh, hold on. Before you guys laugh, though, in his defense, I kind of get what he's saying. In the sense of, I don't feel like
for me, analyzing the situation, the board will keep him. The board, but if he will finish for the top 6, I understand all the calls that he should get out.
Your opinion, Mo. If it was your opinion, and you would,
if he finished outside the top 6, yes, but the board will keep him.
Fire him, yes.
We got there.
But top 6 is not good enough, man.
But my analyzing of Arsenal situation and what is the board going to do, he will continue because the board wanted him to continue.
So this is the problem. This is the problem. See, this is what I say all the time, is that you think Kroenke and his media relations, they don't hear things like this? Arsenal fans, well, if he finishes in the top 6, let's give him a little chance and see if the project will work. They're just going to be like, you know what?
Why do you always go into these
Because
accents,
that's the snowflake. That's my snowflake voice. That's how Arsenal whiny snowflakes.
You know what
That's
the problem
exactly
is
how they
with
are.
Arsenal, with some
You're gonna
Arsenal
say,
fans?
you know what?
Yes,
I'm gonna keep this guy.
they,
Why should I
they are
spend money to get
fighting.
rid of
They
him
are
1 year?
fighting
I can just wait for a year and then
person.
bring somebody
This
else in.
always happens when Mo comes in. This
That's
does
what I'm saying.
everyone
They are
knows that.
Lev,
fighting
I
against
directed the
person.
question to you, Lev. Sorry, I was
Arsenal is
saying
a big
basically,
club.
sorry.
It's a big club, not a person club. Not Arteta, not Kroenke. Arsenal is a big club. For me, 37 years supporting Arsenal, I never got against any manager or against any player. When any Arsenal player
That's
with
great.
our
And
t-shirt, we
would you
should
like a gold
support him
star for that?
till the end.
Mo,
Would you like a gold star?
When any
I mean,
manager,
That
when
doesn't,
any manager
you don't
manages
accomplish anything
Arsenal, we should support. It's Arteta, it's
just
Wenger,
because
it's
you
Emery,
haven't disagreed with a
anyone.
player or you haven't gone against a player, would you like a
Mo.
gold star for that? That we don't accomplish anything
Mo,
with that. That's
what?
not a winning mentality, mate. I'm not saying you have
This
to
is
be against the
this is
manager.
my moral. This is
That's
my moral.
fantastic.
Your
Your
morals
Sorry,
morals
Dama,
This
are
is
not
my
going to
moral.
help us lift
Any
a trophy, by
Arsenal
the way.
manager,
Your
any Arsenal
morals
player,
are not
we
going
should
to help.
support till
Your
the end.
morals
Everyone
are
calm
not
down.
going to help
end.
us win a trophy. Your morals are not going to help help
Mo
us win a trophy.
Maximus, chill. Mo's going on
Sorry.
like flipping Martin McCutcheon. This is
Me
my
speaking
and we've got
me speaking as a specialized journalist of football differs from any other person who's speaking from his emotions only.
No, I agree. Mo, listen, we're not. I'm not disrespecting your views, and you do have some good views, and I do understand. But at the same time, I know you don't want the manager sacked. No one wants the manager sacked. We don't want a manager sacked. We rather have a manager that's good enough. And my problem is with all of this and all you guys is as follows. I felt like where he's lost it, and this is the end of this in the sense of you had your opportunity, it was there for the taking, and we blew it. It was almost the equivalent of when Leicester were chasing the league. In that instance, we bottled it. Leicester won it. We didn't go in and grab it by the horns. And this is what really disappointed me. My club's response to that opportunity. My club's response to that opportunity was to skulk back and say, he goes. Let's just keep it all cheap. Let's wait. We're only playing one game a week. We could get through. And that's where it's cost us. And that's where there's no more excuses. Shaheen, I'll let you control this, bro, because I know you're controlling this whole thing.
Hus wanted to ask something.
I got a question because I have this. I'm a realist, man. I work in my line of work as well. It kind of encompasses what Maximus has said in the sense that I'm not a cynic, but you said we're a big club, yeah? That's based on our previous glories, okay? Because in the last decade, by the FA Cups, and we're all very grateful we've got the biggest thing there. But for me to classify us as a big club, and for me to say, as a devout Arsenal fan who goes to every home game, we're a proper big club. We need to be in Europe. We need to be challenging for titles. And can you name me just one world-class player in our squad right now?
Exactly.
Is that to who? Is that to Mo?
Just one world-class player.
You're asking Mo this question.
Yeah, I want to ask Mo because I'm trying to understand what makes us a big club right now. Right now, we're like Liverpool were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, but they've always been a big club, though, Hus.
For me, Liverpool is the model that we should go after. For me,
I agree.
When Klopp came to Liverpool, he didn't have a touch of magic and get the success in 1 month or in 1 year.
Progressively, year on year,
He
they
put
got
the
better under
pieces.
Klopp.
He put the pieces. He brought the appropriate top players. They put the pieces every year, and they got to the team that they are now. We should follow their model.
Yep,
we should be ruthless and clinical in every transfer window.
By the way.
For me, we should be ruthless. We should be ruthless, clinical in every transfer window, bringing top players to raise our level ahead, especially in midfield and in attack, which we are suffering now, scoring goals wise.
This is the problem.
We're not doing that, are we?
January,
had a reputation as a top manager.
Ability to be ruthless.
I think last January we missed the chance to strengthen the team in a critical time. And this decision, not bringing any top players in, will bite us until the end of the year.
Before going to Liverpool, Klopp had a reputation of being a winning manager. Let's just get it clear, right? He was a winning manager. He's won the league. He took the league title away from Bayern. He's a top manager. He's going to attract top players. We have a
Let
me ask everybody a question. It's a real question. I'm not even trying to be facetious here. Because another presenter actually asked this question. I actually want everybody on the panel to answer this question truthfully. Do you guys know who the assistant manager currently of Manchester City is? And would you give him the Arsenal job right now? And tell me why. And then tell me why.
Well, no, I know why you're going with this, Maximus. You basically to justify Arteta's recruitment, and I get what you're saying. 100%. Listen, we're with you on that. But when it happens, you try to get behind your team for a little bit, and you try to hope that it's going to pan out, and it clearly hasn't
not in 3 years.
To play devil's advocate,
guys, live. Look what Manchester United situation.
Wait. Go on, Hughes.
To play devil's advocate here, right? And again, I'm all for change because right now I'm not content. I'm not happy with anything. But I personally wasn't one of the people at the moment when we did it for sacking Emery was calling for his name. Who's had the last laugh there? So this is why I'm saying sometimes you do need to allow a gap and time. But 3 years is a very good measure of time. Emery was given months, not years.
So to get us a fifth place.
No, you must take in mind, my mate. You must take in mind what Arsenal done in these years. How many? You must bear in mind these 2 years are not stable years for Arsenal.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Look how much work Arsenal have done in the pitch and outside the pitch. Look at how many players we put out.
When you look at
the amount of work that was at stake.
When you looked in January, and everyone in here, did we all go, we need players in? Did we all see that? We all saw it. So we're just laymen, right? We're just laymen. So if we can see it and it's their job to do it and they haven't done it, then fundamentally this got to be looked at and said, we've screwed this up. You've got a chance and you've blown it dramatically. Another manager for me would have maybe got us there. And that's all I can say.
For me, concerning Aubameyang situation, it's one of two decisions. Or keep him and use him until the end of the season and benefit from him, then sell him. It was I prefer this. Or if you get him out, bring another striker.
But they had no intention of bringing anyone. That's why
we didn't do this.
Guys, we've been going for an hour and we've been going for almost an hour and 10 minutes now. So we're going to wrap it up because me and Sheen just want to sort of close the show out. In short, everyone in the chat, I've been looking at what you lot are saying. Arsenal, Manic Face.
I'm just a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, Lev, because Mo didn't answer any of the questions that he was asked.
Mo's been doing political lessons. Like,
I know, man.
Thank you, Psycho.
I think Arsenal problem is not one player and is not one manager. Now our team is not complete.
Well,
it's not complete.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? We just spent 250 million pounds. What do you want about? Like, what are you talking about, man?
Every time Mo comes in, Maximus gets really agitated.
How many?
Because he's the problem.
What about only the money?
Lev, he's the problem.
We brought six players.
This guy,
we were missing six positions.
This guy, Ty, and Julian would make a perfect trio. He's delusional.
I'd love to see that show. I'd actually tune in to see that. To be honest with you, it would make me smile.
We spent 250 million quid. He's telling me we don't have a complete squad. They always waffle. Oh, he needs all his players. 17 of the 21-man squad is his players he picked or give new contracts. What do you guys are running out of excuses now? Like, it's getting stupid.
I think Mo was frozen.
It's getting ridiculous because fans like him.
No, Mo's just really angry with Maximus right
objectivity.
Now.
I'm open to objectivity. Like
the
other guys on the panel here, they are all objective and these guys are very realistic. That's fine. But it's delusional fans like him and Harry and Julian and those other clowns. They are the problem because the Cronkies are looking at fans like that and they're saying, why am I going to spend money sacking this manager if the fans are okay with it? He's bringing in enough money for me to break even and have a profit.
Maximus,
why am I going to take that risk?
Can I just say something, brother? Listen, you've got very good points, right? And the points that you raise, I agree with most of them as well, right? There's only one thing. If somebody is saying something that is not in line in what you're saying, I don't think it's a good thing to call them a clown or idiot or something, because we covered this on the last show as well. It affects people. Like Harry when you say it, then other people follow, and then next thing you know, Harry's getting a lot of abuse. You may not agree with what Harry's saying, but to call him a clown or idiot and that,
I said his points or his opinions can be ridiculous, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's
you can't
fine,
say that
but
I'm
I
the
don't think you
proponent
should
of his
call him
abuse.
clown or idiot.
I don't abuse him. I'm saying that his points are the reason this club is headed in the direction it is. And people is he calls himself a presenter. He should be able to deal with the flack that comes with that. There are a lot of people say things about me in the chat. Am I going to coddle into a little cotton ball and start screaming?
No, but people are
don't
different,
say
man.
that
You might
about
have a
me.
thick
And that's
skin.
fine.
You may not have
He needs to learn to deal with
chill
that.
out now, yeah. Everyone
He
just
needs to
chill
learn
out
to
now.
deal with that, unfortunately.
We've been going for an hour and
Comes with
10
the job.
minutes. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes, and the conclusion we have come to is it's all Mo's fault. It's Mo's fault, and he's the reason that Arsenal are doing so poorly at the moment, and he's been kicked out the group. Clearly, no, and that's not really what happened. But anyway, everyone, look, we are fuming. We are not happy. We knew this was coming, and we were hoping it wasn't going to happen. If we were lucky enough to not get those injuries, perhaps it would have been on the cards. But the way it is now, it was lost about a week and a half ago for me. And once all these players were confirmed injured. So it is what it is. Guys, thank you for coming and sharing your pain with us. It's like therapy doing this. That's why we do it. Thank you, Anish. Thank you, Chusei. Thank you, all you guys in the chat for joining in. Seb, thank you again for your articles, bro. That was a cool little article regarding the striker. Only problem is, are we going to even bother going outside anyone? Zam, thank you for joining us as well. Maximus,
thank you.
Maximus Genitalia waving it around as usual, and Hus Mehmed with his Littlewoods catalogue pose. Thank you for joining us. You guys have been great, and we're going to say goodbye to you all. We'll look to do this on the next show. So peace out, you guys. Yeah, respect for joining us. Yeah, you too. Live long and prosper. That's all. Well, as an Arsenal fan, that's really difficult. Respect, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, see you later. See you later. Who are you removing? Are you removing people, Shaheen?
No,
you
I'm
do
not.
it then.
I'm not doing anything.
You are. I swear down. You just there. Who's? See you later, bro. There you go.
No, I don't have access to that on my phone.
Woo-wee. That was getting a bit serious.
I know,
bro.
man. It was a.
There's a nut. There was a lad in the studio called James. We didn't see him. Wait, what are you doing? Oi, you're such a prick, Shaheen. Well, there you have it. This has been the Arsenal Lounge. I've been left on my ones now for some reason. I don't know. I think you might. Oh, here we go. He's coming back. Kind of flip it in. Come in.
Yeah, sorry,
what
man. I'm struggling to do this on my phone. I don't know why.
I thought we were doing like a little wrap up and thing, and you just
it's my phone, man. Sorry.
Right. Anyway, so boy, you seen what was going on there?
Yeah, no, it's interesting because that's exactly a reflection of the fan base.
That is so true.
You know,
if
that's
you watch
see what you just saw between
true.
Mo, Hus, and Maximus is exactly what's happening in the fan base right now. And there are people saying, "Oh, he needs time, he needs this, and that." And there are people like Maximus, Hus, and myself to a certain degree that we're saying this is just not good enough. This is not going to get any better. It's just going to get worse. And next season it will be worse. And what's happening right now is unacceptable, and he needs to be gone. Whether that will happen or not is a different thing. I personally wouldn't sack him now. I don't see a point of it. But what I would do is I would start looking at replacements. And comes end of the season, we'll part ways. I mean, if he's got anything about him himself, he will just leave.
You took this deep. This show is a metaphor for the fan base. You could 100% say that in the sense of James Thomas is still trying to sneak in, even though we've said we're done. I don't know if we like what you want to do with that, but
no, we're just gonna wrap up, man.
It's just Mo and Maximus really like that. That is the two with polar opposite views, and that's why I wanted to ask Mo that question today, what he would do. I love Mo in the sense of, you know, he's passionate and he takes it seriously. He is a true Arsenal fan, but it's just you struggle to fight that want for your team and wanting them to do well and seeing reality. And the reality of it always, we've been left short, and it's cost us. And it's not happening this season, bro. This season is well and truly over for me. The minute we lost Partey and Kieran Tierney, it was done, and that's why I predicted that 2-0 loss. So I don't know, man. Are you even listening to me, or are you just like...
No, I'm listening to you.
I might just...
No, man, I'm listening to you. But it's just, Lev, you know, sometimes you got to look at these things and say, if we can see things as fans, right? Why is it that other people don't see it? Or is it they know a lot more than us that we know, we don't? Or what is it? Like, for me, I just think it's all like, in terms of football and Arsenal, I just think it's all a nightmare. I'm just going to wake up in a minute now. And I just think after what we were, it's impossible that we've lost to Brighton at home. We can't have lost to Southampton away. We can't have lost to Palace away. Palace away is a difficult one. I would have taken a draw. But these two, and these were the easy games. These are the games that, you know, for all these Arteta and Odegaard and all these fanboys, right? These are the games that is given that you win. These are the games that...
Well, if we're not winning these games, we're not going to win the other ones.
Hold on. Let me finish, right?
Sorry.
These are the games that as a manager, you expected to win. These are the games that as a number 10 or a playmaker, right, you're supposed to be smashing it in these games, right? I don't know what Odegaard has done in the past 2 games that has warranted the manager to give him the R-band for this game now. He was substituted against Liverpool, missing against Palace, missing against Brighton until the last 5 minutes, scores 1 goal. Next game, you're the captain. Now, people say, oh, you've got agenda against Odegaard, this, Odegaard. No, but I'm just looking at this, and I'm just trying to understand that was nobody else more senior in that team except Odegaard to wear a captain's armband. Let's take Xhaka out for the obvious reasons. Right? And I'm just thinking...
Yeah, but hold on, Shaheen, he was playing well a few months ago. When we were...
That's a few months ago, man.
Yeah, but that was
because we had not a few months ago. A season is a long time.
Team.
I don't want a player left that turns it on for a couple of months and then he goes missing again prior and after. I want consistent. You would never see players like... I don't want to compare Odegaard to these players because he's not on that level. But for argument's sake, you wouldn't say the likes of Santi Cazorla, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, those players they were consistently good throughout the season. Odegaard isn't. He just had a good run. Everyone's losing their shit over him. And now where was he today?
I'm gonna get the fixtures up, yeah, right. Swear that this is serious, actually, right? If we look at the fixtures now, yeah. So the next game is what? Chelsea. Is that the next game?
That's a loss.
Right. So Chelsea next game, we're gonna lose away. Yeah, we ain't winning that with this team right now. Man United at home. Would you back us against Man United at home right now? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. We're gonna lose that game.
I would. I would have thought we're gonna beat them. No problem. That's
not with this team.
The international break, right? But right now, after international break, we're in the back of. But by the time we get to Man United, we're going to be at the back of 4 straight defeats because we're not going to beat Chelsea.
Yeah. Okay. And then West Ham away.
No, that's going to be a difficult one as well. Depends if West Ham, if they got their eye on Europa League, that will be different. You know, they might think, but no, I don't know. Based on current form, no, I don't really see. But best, maybe I'll take a draw right now at West Ham away.
Okay, 1 point. That's 1 point. Leeds at home?
Yeah, I think we'll beat Leeds at home.
What with this team? You think we'll beat Leeds at home?
We can't lose from now to end of the season. Everything.
We watch us. We can. We got Spurs away. We ain't gonna win that.
I don't see us doing anything there as
Newcastle away. No chance. What with John Joe Shelby and whoever else they got in midfield?
I'll say a draw maybe.
Okay, and Everton at home.
It depends, man. It depends where Everton are at the time. If they come into Emirates, right? Because based on the results we just discussed, right? We're going to be out of everything. So we're going to be one of those teams that is already on the beach kind of thing, right? Well, because we're not going to be fighting for anything. We'll probably be 6th or 7th at the time, right? And if Everton going to come to Arsenal, right, on the last day of the season, needing something to stay in the Premier League, yeah, they will beat us. Because we're not gonna be all there.
The way we are playing right now, right? And you said you think we'll beat Leeds at home, and you thought you would beat Man United at home before the break, the international break. I'm struggling to see us beat anyone right now, the way we're playing, and this team, and the energy levels, and the lack of belief, and the fact that we got 0 points in 3 games and conceded 6 against 2 very average teams. And Palace, okay, you could say they're a decent side. They could win on their day. They're playing better now. So look, if we can't beat these teams, what the teams we've got coming up next, apart from maybe Leeds, are Leeds any worse than Brighton? I don't know. Leeds are probably, you could say.
No, Leeds are better than Brighton.
Okay, so then why are you even confident we'll beat Leeds? It could go, do you know what? The way we're playing, we could go 0 points all the way from now to the end of the season.
No, I don't see that happening, man. I think at some point they would. I don't know. Man United at home, I think, is one of those games that.
No, bro. Man United are doing us.
I don't know, man.
The only thing, who's going to score for us?
Yeah, that's true. I hear that, but
who they got to worry about?
I just think it's unthinkable for us to go to the end of the season and lose everything or get a draw.
It would have. All right, hold on. If I asked you 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we're going to get 0 points from these 3 games, you would have told me the same thing.
Yes.
Palace, Brighton, and Southampton, and we've got 0, and we're talking about top 4 challenge. Are you nuts?
We don't deserve to be in. Listen, we don't deserve to be in the top 4, and we don't deserve to be in the Champions League.
We don't deserve because when we had the opportunity, we bottled it.
Yeah, and
that says it all.
Yeah, because what is Mikel Arteta going to do in the Champions League? He's probably going to get done at group stages, go out to Europa League, then you got to look. What was the point of that?
Is he unsackable?
And you know what? He's had 1 game a week, Lev. 1 game a week. So basically, he's had all week to get the team ready for 1 game, and he can't do that right now, right? Like if he were in Europe, any form of European competition, right? There's going to be 2 games a week. There might be times where you get to spend time in the training pitch with the team once only. If you're playing Thursday, Sundays, if you're playing away in European tie, and then you come and you're playing away as well, it will be difficult. And if he can't do it right now with these circumstances, I'm just thinking, how is he going to do it then? And this is why I think this is probably the limit or the maximum limit of what Mikel Arteta can do for Arsenal right now. We just need an experienced manager or better manager to come in. People talk about, even guys before that, they were talking about Liverpool, this and that. Klopp came to Liverpool as an experienced manager. It was not his first job. Mikel Arteta is still learning. Well, he's not even learning because he's making the same mistakes over again. The way we have fallen apart is unreal. And you know what? I would love to be a fly on a wall kind of thing, to see what you see. I was watching the game and he kept talking about to his assistant manager, and he was pointing at some things. I just want to see what he's talking about, because if he's talking to his assistant manager and he's telling them, we've been working on this on the training all week, and look what these guys are doing now, it probably shows that they're not listening to him, they're not respecting him. Or what are you saying to the guy?
Can I just there's someone in the chat here, yeah? I've just noticed something.
I'm not even reading the chats because I'm on my phone, and it's actually quite nice.
I got you. I got you. I don't know how long my camera's going to last. We're going to have to wrap up in a sec. Osman Ali, we don't have a striker, 30-yard shooter, a solo goal, set-piece specialist, goals from corners, a proper captain. We were never getting 4th. Now, I understand where he's coming from in the sense of, like, we've all been saying we should have bought in January. But I don't believe that, because this league was there for the taking with the top 4 side of things. Because had we not had those injuries, if Tomiyasu stayed fit, if Kieran Tierney stayed fit, if Partey stayed fit, we had an excellent chance. If they stayed all the way through to the end of the season, we had an excellent chance. We wouldn't have lost all 3 of these games. We would have probably maybe lost the Palace game because we didn't turn up for that. But Brighton, Southampton, we would have got things out of those. So we would have had a chance to get top 4, in my opinion. The fact is, we only needed to get 1 or 2 players. And this is what really frustrates me, Shaheen, right? Is Arteta use Holding at all this season?
Come again?
Does Arteta use Holding at all this season? He's very reluctant to use Holding, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So why is Saliba out on loan? You telling me you're not going to use Holding? Why is Saliba out on loan? Right? If you don't,
well, he's probably sending him out to get games or something.
You've kept El Neni, yeah, and you've let go Azy Maitland-Niles, Torreira, Guendouzi. If you kept El Neni, but then you're not playing him and you're playing Sambi. So that says to me, you don't rate El Neni.
That level, right? I'm gonna take you back. I think about a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken, £22 million was on the table from Wolves for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Arsenal rejected it. Apparently, Arteta talked Ainsley Maitland-Niles to stay at Arsenal. He convinced him to stay. He did not get a game after that, right? Next thing, all the way to his loan to Roma, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be another one that is going to walk away for free. So our question, why didn't we take that £22 million at the time? And even you went as far as convincing the guy to stay at Arsenal, allegedly, for what? To stay on the bench.
And the way they've done it as well now. Imagine, Saliba is now proving to be potentially a world-class centre-back in the future. That's what Marseille's manager has been harping on about. And look, you can't ask for more than what this lad's done on his loan period. He's got into the Marseille top first 11. He's got into team of the year in the French league. He's got into the international team as a starter, a centre-back. And in the meantime, we've got Holding sitting on the bench. We've got a team that's not performing. You telling me that Saliba wouldn't have had an opportunity to come in with these performances we've seen? White today, that goal that they scored, White goes to ground where if he actually marking his man properly and steps across him and doesn't let the shot off, it's not going to happen. But he was at fault for me in that goal. So why haven't we got Saliba? Why are you letting midfielders go if you're not going to buy a midfielder? This is unacceptable for me in the sense of you knew that all it took was 1 or 2 injuries. You let Aubameyang go, you haven't replaced them. We harp on about it, and I know people say we just saying the same thing over and over again, but that is the crux of all of this. It's Arteta falls on his sword based on his decisions he made on letting people go, loaning people out, weakening us, and not having the foresight. And then people talk about, well, it's easy with hindsight, bro. It's a joke. So we had this.
It's been a joke.
We deserve it with the way we approached this opportunity. We got what we deserved.
Yeah, I just hope, like, I'm actually not looking forward to the game now against Chelsea away, because it could be a disaster.
We're not hiding to nothing now. Like, anyway, I'm done talking about it, bro. Like, it's nearly 6:45, and I'm sick of talking about the same shite.
We need to go and relax a little bit. Arsenal ruined the evening because I even on the prediction show that we did, I didn't think we'll lose this one, man. I didn't even go for a draw.
That's the only shimmer of light, apart from the ones coming through your Shamak curtains just now. That is the only shimmer of light through all of this, is that I said we were going to lose in the prediction show, in the segment, and look what's happened. So, slowly crawling back into the race.
Yeah, I still think
for that. What's it? The lunch.
I'm saying
it's
gonna be between you and Mo.
Bro, listen, I'm the only one that picked up points today. Yeah, just remember that, guys. So, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm going to go and chill out for the rest of my... Listen, Arsenal ruined my birthday. They ruined your birthday. Every weekend has been ruined. These last 3 weekends have been ruined by one...
I don't think next one is going to be any better either, so...
All right. Well, listen, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Should he stay? Should he leave?
Where is Before we finish, should we do a quick player rating?
Go on, then. Player ratings in the chats as well, guys. Go.
Hold on, let me just get the lineup.
From 1 to 11.
Let me get the lineup.
I bet you my camera's going to die in a minute.
If your camera dies, we'll just do voice.
Can I do a Maximus voice? Ramsdale won. Cedric, ooh, he's terrible. I want to do some voices like that.
Right, Ramsdale.
Wait, what did he really? You couldn't really help him with that goal, so I give him 5.
No, he didn't really do anything, so it was not at fault. I'll give him a 5 as well. Cedric.
He was really bad. Cedric was bang average as well, man.
Yeah.
4, 5.
I'll give him a 4. It wasn't. We didn't do much right. We didn't do much. It was just he didn't really affect the game that much. Ben White.
Shite.
I'll give him a 3.
3. That fault for the goal.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing going to the ground like
and some
that.
silly. Did you see that one when the guy pulled back on him and he done some? I don't know. Try to stop him with the back flick and let the cross in. Definitely a 3.
Yeah, Gabriel.
4.
Yeah, I'll probably give him a 5. It was the better out of the 2. It was all right. Tavares.
He didn't really do anything wrong.
Yeah, well, he didn't really do anything.
But he didn't really have.
4,
He done his job. He done his job. He didn't do anything worse.
Yeah,
he certainly wasn't the
He
worst.
didn't attack. He didn't influence the game going forward. He was just,
Maybe he was told not to after what's been happening.
I don't know.
You said that yourself in the last show. We get told not to do it.
Yeah. Sambi Lakonga.
5, 4.
That's generous, man. I'll give him a 4.
4. Give him a 4.
Well, again, didn't really do anything. Just get the ball, pass it around next to him. Not a lot going forward. Granit Xhaka.
Fucking shit, man. 4.
Yeah. Again, 4. Didn't really do much throughout the game. Saka.
5.
Yeah, again, I agree. 5. Didn't see none of these guys did anything in the game. Odegaard.
4.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with 4. But again, Odegaard didn't really do much. Didn't create much. He should have done a lot better with the chance towards the end.
Yeah. When
he took a shot and he went wide.
He should have hit the target. 100%.
Yeah, I can't understand how or why he was given a fucking armband. Martinelli.
See, I love Martinelli because he always works hard. But even he didn't have a great game. I'll give him maybe a 6, 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5 as well. He was probably the only one.
He tried.
Yeah. Nketiah.
Oh my god. Oh man, he's just 4.
Yeah, 4 is about 5.
He's always a 4 though.
Say in his defense is that we didn't really create anything for him.
Shite.
But yeah, I mean the subs. Smithrowe.
4. He had a chance, didn't connect properly. If he did connect properly, that would have been a goal.
Yeah, 4. Pepe.
3. Didn't really do anything when he came
3.
on.
Fucking no, man. We agreed on everything. It's a bit strange one, isn't it?
You know why, bro? Now I promise myself I'm doing it with my head, not my heart.
We forgot the manager.
Oh, jeez. 3.
That's generous, man. I give him a 1.
And that's only because he managed to get them on the field.
3 is generous. I give him a 1, man. This is not good enough. I can't, from the names that I read out, I can't pick out a single player that influenced the game and made a difference and tried, hard to do something. No one of them.
Bro, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to gauge where we're at with Nketiah. You've got 2 people on your bench that you can use, to get you a goal. 10 minutes to go. Pookie from Norwich or Nketiah? Who are you going for? It's got to get you the win, yeah? I knew you in the chat. Pookie or Nketiah with 20 minutes to go. Who's your money on to get you a goal?
Based on current form, I'll go for Pookie.
I'd go for Pookie anytime.
They got a draw at Man United, Norwich as well. He scored in that.
So
it was a draw until last time. I looked
who
at it.
has a car than Eddie Nketiah? Could anyone in the chats? Because my brain's, I'm still a little bit clogged. So listen, anyone in the Premiership that has got a worse striker than us when it comes to Eddie Nketiah, can you put it in the chats? I want to know. Can you think of any worse strikers?
Won. Ronaldo got a hat-trick.
So you're making that shit. Who's got a worse striker than us in the Premier League? Come on, tell us.
Maybe
Eddie
Chris Wood
Nketiah
from Newcastle.
Who? Chris Wood.
Yeah.
He's better than Nketiah.
Yeah, but he hasn't scored anything.
Yeah, I know, but he definitely puts himself about a lot more, and it's worth putting a cross in. Anyone? Anyone? Tell me who's got a worse striker than Eddie Nketiah.
Lev.
Yo.
We're 6th in a table, man.
Yeah, and
if West Ham wins tomorrow, we'll be 7th.
And this is the harder run coming.
Yeah, he's done, bro. He's done.
We're done. We're done. We are done. Does anyone come up with a name that's worse than Nketiah?
There is a chance that we'll finish outside the top 6. You know that?
We could go back to 8th again. He could finish 8th again. I'm racking my brains to find out who's got a worse striker than we have in Eddie Nketiah, and no one's come up with anything in the chat.
Yeah, I know one.
Go on.
Lukaku.
No, I'll take Lukaku over Eddie Nketiah all day long.
You would, but they said that Lukaku's done nothing as well this season.
It doesn't matter. At least you know, like, you know what? There's a chance with Lukaku. There's no chance with Eddie Nketiah. Do you know what I mean? No, there's no one. You have not. Nobody's named a worse striker in the Prem than Eddie Nketiah right now. No one. So that says it all. So you know what? I'm going to wrap it up on that note, bro.
All right. On that bombshell.
We're
going to do the show on Tuesday this week. So
yeah. So the show we usually do with Mo and Tom on a Monday is going to be done on a Tuesday. The reason for that is, Shaheen, would you like to let the people why that is?
Yeah, we've been invited to a fundraiser by Mo. For a charity, so we go in there and we will not be able. Me and Lev are going to different places, but Lev is going there. I'm going somewhere else. So,
okay, so the show will be on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for notifications. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Smash the likes. Let us know in the chats if you can tell me a worse striker in the Premier League than Eddie Nketiah. Please put them in the comments. I really like to hear your thoughts on that. So on that note, this is another sad Arsenal Lounge show. 3 defeats, back-to-back defeats in a row. 4 defeats out of 5. 6 goals conceded in 3 games against average to half decent
teams. Not good enough. And it's only going to get worse. So, guys, share your time with your loved ones. Give them a cuddle and a hug, because you're not getting any warmth from this Arsenal side for the next 8 weeks. That's us out of here. Peace out with the Arsenal Lounge.